My name is Paul Olmstead. I am an instructor at the Maritime Business College in the Corrections and Law Enforcement program.
Hi, my name is Pat Moran. I'm an instructor here at the Maritime Business College in the Corrections and Policing program.
My name is Greg McCamon, and I spent 27 years working in Nova Scotia Corrections. And I started in 1983, and I retired in 2010. I worked in all the different positions that were available, and I was on the training team from 1986 to 2005.
I started in policing in October of 1978, so that would have been a little 43 years ago. And I continued on until I retired in 2014 with a few months past 35 years complete.
The industry itself, I was a police officer starting in 1979, retired in 2008 after about 29 years in law enforcement, and that was with a large metropolitan police service in Edmonton, Alberta. And then after I retired, I decided to continue my career as an instructor, and I came to what was then Success College in 2010. I've been here ever since. Most people that come to this program have had a long-standing desire to work in law enforcement. We have many people that come here and will admit that they have wanted to be a police officer or work in law enforcement since a very early age. Usually in their mid-teens, earlier, they're influenced by a family member in the policing industry. They're influenced by something they've seen on TV. An event in their life very often will influence people that they want to come here and help people. They want to give back, that type of thing. Rarely does an adult person wake up and say, I think I'll go be a cop. That doesn't happen.
Students coming into my program should have a good ethical background, good ethical mindset, and a mindset that they're going to be dealing with people that the general public usually doesn't want to deal with.
They should, when they start a program like this or any program, have some kind of goal in mind and try to reach it. And my job here is to get you there. Each student's going to be different, but a goal is very important. And as a result, you should be able to meet that goal or come very close to it when we're done.
I think it helps if you are, I'm going to say, a problem solver. If you like to look at things rather quizzically in terms of how can I fix this, how can I help, how can I change something to make something better. There is no opportunity for somebody to work in this business if they are not a forward thinker, if they are not a critical thinker, and if they don't have the ability to look at something and kind of analyze it.
I've been here for 11 years now, and we have graduates working all across Canada in corrections, federal corrections, provincial corrections. There's a few in border services. Ontario Provincial Police has taken a couple of them. Some of them have gone on to the RCMP. Halifax Regional has some sheriffs.
Whoa, where do you start? From the title, a lot of students seem to think it's geared strictly to corrections and policing. That's a starting point, but any job opportunity out there that requires any critical thinking, an investigational mindset, that could be anything from policing to corrections to border patrol, security, whether it be through a big company, small company, individual stores, by contract, whatever. Parks Canada, Environment Canada, there's various provincial agencies that have regulatory enforcement investigators, Revenue Canada, the list goes on and on and on.
The fact that we are referred to as a foundational program means that it gives you the basics, it gives you the foundation to build on. We are not what you call a cadet program. We don't teach you to be specifically a police officer in terms of what the hard skills are. And a hard skill would be your ability to drive, your ability to shoot a gun to proficiency. What we give you is we give you the skills necessary to challenge your mind to move forward.
this type of program doesn't guarantee you a job in anything. It gets you ready for it. And people that have gone through this program in the past have been quite successful in, reaching the goal that they've set for themselves.
Well, I personally, I understand the term hands-on, but hands-on is not always the best way to talk about things. Do we have hands-on? Yes. Self-defense, do we do a little bit of shooting? Do we do weapons courses with firearms? Yes, that's all hands-on. I understand we don't want to take an adult and plunk them in a seat for 7 or 8 hours a day and bore the heck out of them with slides. That's definitely not what we do. We will have lectures. We will have books that we're going to look through and talk about. But the hands-on part goes back to being able to think. We teach you to think.
My portion of the program is very hands-on. We spend probably about 30% in the classroom and 70% doing physical abilities training and scenario training.
It varies day to day. Some days they will leave here tired, and other days they may sit on their rear end going through books and papers, and because that's the nature of the industry. If you ask any policeman, and I'll stick with policemen because that's what I know, what's the worst part of your job? Paperwork. Today, it's easier because of electronic assistance in that regard, but it's still paperwork. And we focus a fair bit on that on the side I deal with. In my program, my half the program, I focus on the policing side, and I have a co-instructor, and we've split the responsibilities. So I focus mostly on administrative things, paperwork and whatnot, and he deals more with the operational.
So thinking is probably one of the biggest skills, again, that we build on here. Communications is definitely the biggest. What we found in law enforcement across North America in the last 1 or 2 decades is everybody is told that the mouth is the best weapon in law enforcement, and it is. We don't encourage physical confrontations. You are trained to handle them, you are trained to recognize them, you are trained to prevent them. But what we really work on is getting you to learn to keep people at a verbal level at all times. And if you can verbalize what you need, if you can understand the law and verbalize what the law states and get people to try and work within that, then you've done your job really well. You know what I think they really enjoy more than anything is they enjoy facing their fears, honestly. Some people have come into this course and never touched a firearm. They've never had to wrestle. They've never had to handcuff. So you're going to learn a lot of skills with that. And I find that what makes people nervous, what makes people scared about certain things, if you approach it in the proper way as an instructor, you can take people's nervousness or fears and build on it and make them confident and comfortable with it. And believe it or not, that's the part that I think they like the most.
They enjoy the hands-on portion of the program the most. Although when I do my mental health model, they seem to be really interested in that, and it piques their interest, and a lot of that is classroom and presentations and video. So they really enjoy that.
There's all kinds of activities that we do here in the learning environment that will get some giggles out of them and bring out some characteristics that they didn't know they had or could develop, and get them out of their shell, so to speak.
Understanding that what they're doing is going to impact other people's lives, and that excites people. So I think that's one of the most fun things. It's not, like I said, the hands-on thing. It's taking people and allowing them to fulfill their dreams, their goals. I think that's really, really what they're coming here looking for.